Ericeira out in the water right now. Igarashi of Japan, Gouveia, Brazil, Hushman from the United States, Hanneman representing Hawaii, and straight down in live action will pick up Cole. Hushman just belting his way across a smaller inside runner with a ton of energy. It's crisp stuff from the strapping American on the backhands, and he'll finish up real close to the rocks in there. Crowd appreciating his travails through some troubled waters on the inside section. Strong start for Hushman in a heat that's going to require some pretty strong stuff, but he's got a heat in his hands. Paul Evans back in the shooter for the court. Joining me once again, it's Peter Mel.
How's it going there, Paul? Hushman, which you actually says his last name perfectly. It is Hushman. He has some Eastern descent and loves football, actually soccer, and he's built like a football player, but he is a very talented surfer, and he'll use that very solid frame that he has to produce fans of whitewater off his rails. Very smart kid too, knows how to surf a heat, knows how to produce scores, had a quarterfinal finish at the US Open of Surfing. So he is on his way. If he can keep it together here and get himself into the round of 24 or into the round of 16 or another quarterfinal, you would say that he is on his way to fulfilling the dream.
A Vissla stick we're looking at on the nose as well. He's representing our sponsor here, so good stuff from him. Let's see how he goes in this. What's going to be a real tough heat. And of course, we talk about our big seeds. Igarashi, he's in the red out there. And a big pre-event favorite coming into this one. He likes the look of a wave hit. Here goes Kanoa with a little sort of belated entry, just kind of waited on all fours while the thing stood up. Now he gets driving down the line. Whitewater on the face, he's not too bothered. Nice quick slash, keeps that speed though, crucially. He's got a million miles down the line. He'll throw the tail out, try and reverse it down out of the whitewater. And even for a surfer of technical prowess of Kamoa Igarashi, doesn't get it completed.
Well, it's a moving medium. You know, sometimes you get caught between thoughts and maneuvers. Here's Eli Hanneman.
Hanneman with a meaty opening section, and he'll throw the tail out as well and just throw it away. So pushing hard early on, certainly from that opening exchange. The best of it very much with Cole Hushman. Belted away a number of times. You see some kind of incomplete other stuff elsewhere in the field. 25 minutes, just under 30 seconds remaining, so plenty of time to come in this one. Nice energy being delivered into the bowl by this swell. Feels like the fox kind of rolled back out now. It's sun cautiously hoping to poke through, Pete. That's nice.
Ian Gouveia, yes it is. Ian Gouveia from Recife, from Brazil, trying to get himself his spot back on tour. Has had a tour on the dream, fulfilling the dream, now wants back into the dream.
Had a baby a couple of days ago as well.
Yes,
dad
he did.
Again. So congrats to him. Going to go down and hear from the winner of the last heat, Matthias Hurdy, ripped it, and he's standing by with Joanna.
He absolutely did. Great job out there. Intense competition. How was it for you?
Yeah, it's tough out there in the high tide. I was talking to Thiago Pires. He's been my coach here, and you know, all the Rebel crew has been so supportive. So I just want to thank them, and the Quiksilver guys as well. They're working together, kind of like I feel really comfortable here. Like all the people here is giving me a lot of support, so I'm just stoked. And yeah, but out there it's tricky, you know. Like there's a backwash, and I was just like focused on those that kind of look like a closeout, so has more wall in it. So yeah, that was pretty much was my focus on it. And I knew like if I did like air or something different, the judges will reward. So I was looking for that.
And not hard to spot as well with a board like that. That's an interesting choice in color. Why is it?
I don't know. Like I'm really a fan of Julian Wilson. Like he's been my idol since I was really young. I was always his videos, and he always had those pink. And I wish like he could have put his board like all pink. And then I ordered from Jason from JS, like I want it all pink, all my boards like all pink, and he gave me this idea to just only the rails white and the rest of it pink, and then it looks really good and it feels really good too. Like boards definitely on my feet. Like I couldn't ride this board on the first day because it was too big for this board, but now it just feels like amazing. And I hope, I don't know, just hope to keep going. I just want to keep going on this board.
And I'll just say a few words in Portuguese for the fans that are watching.
Obrigado a todo mundo que está assistindo no Brasa. Eu não sei que horas são, deve ser de manhã ali ainda, mas obrigado a todo mundo que está assistindo, minha família, meus amigos. E é isso, eu acho que, pô, ainda está no início do campeonato. Vamos com tudo pro campeonato, pro chegar nas finais, se Deus quiser ganhar.
Thank you very much and good luck in the next round.
Great stuff. Good to see Tess Hurdy with a thorough debrief. He's stoked. He's got a pretty good corner crew, including Jugger Saka Perez backing him up.
Ironically, October 2021 is National Breast Awareness Month, which pink is definitely the color of choice. So why not bring awareness to that?
And on that note, my wife, the lovely Heidi Evans, is shaving her hair, giving that away to charity and raising sponsors as well.
Epic,
so she's
right?
part of Breast Cancer Awareness Month 2021.
Way to give back. Your partner.
Absolutely. So good causes out there. And yeah, mentioned the Julian Wilson influence as well, Mateus. Interesting to see, because that's been part of his story a long time with his mum supporting that really good cause.
Well, she beat it. That's why, you know, and it's something that you got to check all the time. So women out there, please make sure you check them.
All right, under the 21-minute mark in this, and Hushman with the big number, 7-6. Certain stages, certainly early on that way when he took off and it was kind of a bit wobbly. Didn't really see that number coming. He basically just kind of like buckled down and just forced himself on that wave, kind of forced that score.
I will say that panel likes what he does, you know, and he does transition rail to rail very well. He also carries a ton of speed, and he also belts the lip. He uses that big frame.
Ooh, okay, big punt there from Kanoa. So we've already seen so far in this one a couple of incompletions, but it looks like people are going to go to that turn above the lip, try and get a rotation done, reflection kind of conditions. And also maybe the lack of potential scoring on the face. Kanoa's up again, so straight away he'll go into another wave, possibly look for another ramp on this one as well, which just clip a couple more sort of regulation turns. Building up speed though here, it could be dangerous on this inside if he can get out on the face, which he does, and he'll ping one up again and still going down here. So a great decision to ride this wave. Still swinging down here, just keeps on delivering sections.
What a read.
Wow.
That was a good read. I mean, he ended up falling. You saw him look down the line, and again, when you think about what Mateus Hardy said, look for the closeouts, right? That's the idea being is that if it's going to be stretched out, generally it may not close out, and it's going to give you opportunity. This is exactly what this wave did. I mean, it looks like it was going to shut down on him, but he was able to get up and over the lip and use that momentum down the line. I mean, the whole time it looked like it was going to shut down on him, but he somehow just gets that sharp eye surfboard squirting down the line. And this is going to be a score. You know, it won't be quite the 7-6 there, but if he wants to apply pressure early in the heat, he's going to be doing that right now. And who knows how many opportunities he's going to get. We are after that high tide, and we were touching on it that the incoming tide's always a good idea. Well, we got to that peak high tide. Now let's see what happens on the outgoing tide, because generally I've seen an increase in set consistency and also quality of wave as you start to get to that mid-tide zone, which we saw earlier today. That was probably the best time of the day so far. I think we're going into the actual best time of the day.
All right, bring it. Tide on the way back out. The water just sitting on the reef sweetly. Also got some of that fog kind of lifting as well, so things looking a lot brighter. Great colors in the water as seen from above from our drone. You can pick up that little cove. You see those white structures in there. That's where we're positioned in the studio. And a little fringe of crowd lining the top of the berm as they tend to consistently throughout our competitions here. Some nice sets marching in off a really sort of productive, kind of complex low pressure system that's basically delivering all week. It's quite relatively rare. Think about swell windows. Normally we get our lows kind of transition across, so they'll deliver some swell, they'll move out of the window, things will deteriorate, maybe get another one coming behind. It's relatively sort of, it's not rare, but it happens less often that we're just kind of consistently getting these, you know, in the overhead range sort of 7, maybe 8 days in a row.
Yeah, and it's just that the low kind of stalled off the coast. It's still producing wind out there, which then gives us swell. It's been like pulsing too, right? There'll be like moments where you'll see a lot of activity, and then there's those moments where it's been very quiet, you know, for an hour, hour and a half, it'll kind of shrink, and then all of a sudden, you know, 2 hours later, it's pumping again. So that's what we've seen. That's what we've actually had on the forecast. Ultimately, as we get further into the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that's when we'll start to see the remnants of Sam get sucked into a low. It'll push the low we have there now out towards the Bay of Biscay, and then we'll see that new influx of swell.
All right, good number in for Igarashi, 617 for him. So a great way just to wash off an incomplete rotation straight away. The very next wave, saw an opportunity, took it. Smart surfing.
Who went up top? What color is that? Is that going way up there? You can see a totally different strategy.
Yeah, what have we got? We've got Ian Gouveia right now with Cole Hushman. So I think that looks like we've got Kanoa right up there with Eli Hanneman. Let's check out next heat, getting ready. Pat Kadauskas going through some preparations. What a great looking heat. Liam O'Brien has been outstanding. Dylan Moffat absolutely tore it as well. And Samuel Pupo, he's essentially kind of defending champion of this event as a top-ranked QS, as it was known then, event, Samuel Pupo. It's an absolutely stacked heat coming up in heat number 8.
That would be Eli Hanneman making a push up there, being that he is the green jersey. So he's sitting in a zone that we saw Cooper Chapman jump up to at one point during this event. To good measure, it worked for him. I actually saw Kanoa with one of his buds. They were taking a look, and Kanoa kept pointing up to that zone, going, no, no, no. And I think his coach was all, no, 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 no. He kept pointing up, no, 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 look. And they kept a little mini argument. But I think the coach won the argument, because that looks like Kanoa's staying down at the lower end, the traditional takeoff spot.
Hushman whipping it on the backside. He's got a little bit of kind of less radius on the face to work with here, so his turns have to be a little more abbreviated than on his high score that he threw in earlier on. Nevertheless, he will stick with this. It will be a backup for him. His second wave, and he'll just keep kind of S-ing and slashing away. That will consolidate his position. Just the one from first at the moment, but we've got loads of time left. 15-15 remaining.
Just a good move, smart. You know, make sure you get a backup. You know, give yourself the time to get back up the priority ladder. That's kind of one of the strategies, right? You grab a backup that's not going to have a ton of scoring potential, but you can surf your way up, which I think he has done here, because he did get 2 nice moves before this wave hits that chunky section with no water or no wave, let's say. You know, one of the first waves of the set, probably the only wave of the set. But he'll get a modest number here and back up the 7.6. It'll put him in the lead. And now he can go and take his turn. He can go and wait out the back. And if it's an inconsistent heat, it might take you time to get to that priority position. And generally, if you already have a nice 7-point ride, we see this is from deep.
Swinging from deep is Eli Hanneman. He's covered a lot of ground here. Keep plugging away at this wave, not leaning too much into those turns. That wave was kind of soft, and it never really getting a chance to have at it.
A couple things positive about making a move like that is that you're not going to have to contest for a wave, right? You get to sit by yourself. And the other part of it is that you're going to get, if you pick the right wave, it's actually going to be in cleaner water, because you can see towards the channel. That's where it gets really chunky.
Gouveia down to business here. He'll get a little top of a kind of a double up energy onto the inside. A great sting from him. Just stab that board through the lips. Some nice spray. Uses the speed well and just drains that rail, kind of raking it through the lip. Another big hit from him. It's a good wave from Gouveia. Still swinging. Gets a snap through some sort of deeper, chunkier water. Just keeps that energy. Leaning into that rail turn. Just jamming that thing in the pocket. There's another big spray as well. So deceptive, the amount of speed and push behind this wave, and a well-surfed wave for Ian Gouveia.
That was. That thing had a nice bowl on it, right? When you saw that the face of the wave kind of bowls out and smooths out. He's able to time those backside hooks. He had a different variety. He had snaps and he had drifts of the fins. Let's take a look at it again. First turn here, one place that it stands up vertically, he was right there with it, so the timing perfect. There, carve as he drives through the maneuver. This one drifts the fins. And then now a snap. So 4 different styles of backhand turns. Great variety. I think the judges will take note of that. Another nice carve here and just cleans up this inside section. Nice vertical hit. Dad power. Probably pretty excited about having another child all healthy. And he's kick out. This is a great answer.
And that energy always kind of drilling down the line as well, just adding extra impetus. 12.5 on the clock. Here's Hanneman with a ton of speed. Let's see if he can find a ramp. He'll get a little caught. He actually gets the outside rail. He's just kind of pumping and S-ing down the line, not really paying too much attention. One of those wobbles just grabs him.
Yeah, he was definitely, you could see the telegraphing. He was wanting to go above the lip. He was definitely thinking about that big progressive move. Now he's pulling an audible, just like we saw from Kanoa Igarashi.
All right, here he goes again. Draws out the bottom turn this time. Lets the wave catch him, and he'll have to do that again here. This one a little slopey, and he will look for a ramp in here as he'll start to accelerate down the line. He's traveled quite a long way with this wave, and it's just never really cooperating.
Yeah, again, telegraphing, wanting to go above the lip. This kid has a great aerial game. You know, he's got the huge alley-oop that he can pull off with high consistency. He's also got the air 3. He's small but strong, so he's got great pop, and that's youth, I think, is part of it as well.
Just realizing in order to get through a super tough heat like this one, you might need to kind of make big numbers on waves that maybe did. In second place at the moment, the lead is with the American Cole Hushman. At the moment, a strong first place showing with that 7.6, got a 5.63, which is a decent backup as well. Just those 2 waves ridden from Cole. Good enough for a pretty strong lead right now. Gouveia drops a good score though for his last backhand effort. 6.77 for a series of turns. Pete touched on the variety. Judges rewarding that. Maybe a little bit sort of restricted in terms of kind of the shape of the face of the wave, so he brought in his own variety from his turns. Did a good job of getting a number there. Eli Hanneman out of Hawaii, but a little unlucky, sort of frustrating in terms of his opportunities. Still in the low numbers right now. Not a whole long way back though, just in terms of second. 6.11 his requirement. 9 minutes remaining in this one. It's been really interesting to see how this one goes down. It just felt like from the beginning, as soon as we saw that first kind of attempt to go above the lip, just felt like it kind of fired things up for this one.
It did. And now we got more fireworks happening right here.
Gouveia in the bowl, swings off the top and not pushing too hard. He'll give another good crack of it. And this is a little bit of a smaller wave, but it will go steep in here and just kind of stand up for him, offer him up some sections. He'll keep plugging away on some steeper sections. Nice little stinging turn on the backhand and another. And he did really well to make it out of that. He got kind of blown up, disappeared for a while, Pete, and re-emerges triumphant.
Flare of dramatics, right? You know, whoa, look at that. He pulled it. You know, that's pretty cool. I think this is going to be a good number for him. Most likely move him into second position. Kanoa's holding on to that with priority. Don't see this being as big as his 6.77, so just be a moderate score. Let's watch it again here. Sets it up with a fade. You know, the timing is all about those, all these little subtle little timing things you'll do. You'll fade a turn, you're trying to set it up, you'll stall off the bottom sometimes. Whatever you can do to get your maneuver done in the most high impactful, most difficult section. Such a great backhand Gouveia has. He's a great barrel rider. That one there didn't completely disappear, but at least from the other angle he did. Looks like he may, does he have a knee brace on? Look like he might be dealing with a little bit of a knee issue. I mean, we all have hinges, and these hinges, they get stretched, especially when you're punting big airs, or, you know, you sometimes have splits. You know, injuries happen super easy.
Doesn't seem to be slowing him down at the moment, and he will look to improve with that. Going to get a good number, drops in. We'll stick with the live, though. It's now our surfer in second place, Cole Hushman. Gouveia's jumped to first. Let's see what Cole's got in here. It is a smaller wave for him, and a little sluggish in terms of energy as well. He'll want to crank up the speed in here just to add a bit of visual impetus to his turns. Still kind of flinging that board up with a little backhand stabs, nice and vertical. There's a good one as well. He'll just keep plugging away in here, hoping not to make mistakes. Finish off his wave, that's what he does. But yeah, 7-1 drops in for Ian Gouveia, and he goes into the lead.
A little better. They liked it. So now he goes to the lead. Coles has dropped down to second. So you think about 13 points being kind of that target number today, at least if you want to get first and second. Both these surfers have. And now Kanoa is going to have to fight from a third position. He has priority. He had that mistake early. I wonder if it'll cost him.
I'm going to go ahead and say it. We were surprised we saw Frederico Moraes. He went down first round, out. Just saw Italo Ferreira go down, leave the water a little bit early. He's gone. And right now, we're looking at Kanoa Igarashi, another one of our big, big favorites. He's on the wrong side of a 7 to advance. Under 6 minutes to go, Pete.
This is true. Yeah, we've had some of our championship tour surfers, and it's like you wonder if the fact that they don't need these points, that they don't, quite care as much. I think that might be part of it. Or you've got some super talented and hungry QS warriors that are going in here taking points and so on. I'm beating these guys.
I like option B.
Yeah, so do I.
And especially when you're surfing on the championship tour, you're surfing against, a few dozen handful of the world's best. But when you're in the
Challenger Series?
Yeah, you're kind of surfing against the world.
Yeah.
Right? It's literally like there's so much talent from all those regions.
It's not like the VIP room, huh? This is you're down in the general public.
And a lot can happen in
the general public.
Yeah, for sure. So.
I'm backing you. And it's so much funner. It's a way bigger party, right? VIP room's good to step in there for a little while, but then you want to get out and go join the public.
With 5 to go in this one, we're going to check a heat recap, see how it's gone down. Hushman ripped it early on.
Yeah, that was the first turn on that outside section. So the judges would have liked that power that he carried into it. And then get some rhythm here as this wave doubles up on the inside. And that's why they were able to go as high as the 7.6, which is actually the best number we've seen in this heat. This is where it starts to pick up steam, and then he gets this just rhythm going. That's where the judges really like his style and approach. And again, it's vertical, strong, be able to push through the bumps. This is the best wave of Kanoa Igarashi, which is an audible. He had a fall, and he literally picked this wave up kind of midway out, saw that it had a fun, clean line on it, and he went for it, earned a 6.17, but we got 4 minutes to go, and now he needs a number. Let's see what kind of answer Kanoa could come up with. He will probably get an opportunity here, but he's got to make the right choice, considering looks like there's a score to come in for him as we watch the end of the recap here. This is back-to-back waves from Ian Gouveia, and what that has done for Ian Gouveia is it put him into the lead. Beautiful backhand mix of variety of maneuvers and backhand snaps, carves, lip drifts, and finish moves right in front of the rocks. Good stuff from Ian Gouveia, and he needs it. He's trying to get himself back on the championship tour, and the way to do it is to make heats in the Challenger Series, and right now it feels like he is going to be on his way to at least a heat win or second. He has 13.87 as his two-wave total. We've seen that be just enough points to make it through. I like this choice here from Ian Gouveia. This was actually better than the wave previous. I almost liked the first one better, but hey, they're very similar in scoreline.
A lot of jeopardy on that final maneuver on that one as well. And a lot of risk taken. And he's still swinging a quick in and out, just as I say that, will decide to kick out. So looking to defend from the front. Meanwhile, currently in the second place spot in this heat, Cole Hushman, the big American. He'll bash it a couple of times. Voila! And he'll ask a couple of questions of the panel. He likes it. Hanneman trying to drop a hammer on a troublesome section. He eventually kind of emerges from the white water. It's not super convincing. It's a technical, tricky turn to do. And a flurry of activity, a feeding frenzy on the waves of Ribeira Dillas, as we see Igarashi again just kind of swooping around some deep water.
I will say he ended up catching a wave during that recap. It came in as a 3, so he did up his ante a little bit, but that choice of priority that he used there earned himself a 3. So a mistake there by Kanoa. Still needs the 7.07, and now he's at the back of the line.
So under 2 minutes now. Ian Gouveia does have the lead. He's got a score to come in. He's also got first priority as well. Scores to come in for all of our surfers. Let's see how that stirs the pot. But before we do, let's have another look at this last effort.
Oh, and he went for it. Big drift and good start. I mean, it was kind of creative for a pretty average section, but that's it. That's all he got. That was a 3. Let's see what Cole has done here. He's trying to better a 5.63. So we're waiting on this score as well. He likes the inside section, because that's where he seemed to get a little bit excited. Final move, straight up, tag of the lip, and a voila claim.
All right, judges will process on numbers. A minute to go now. We'll have a look out over the lineup and see if we've got any takers priority. We'll flip that around. It now sits with Eli Hanneman. And he needs a combination right now prior to a number to come in. So he's in all sorts of trouble. Our current heat lead is on the inside there in the blue. Had a little look at a wave. Kainoa Igarashi's number comes in. He did improve on that 3 that he just got marginally with a 3.27. Nothing like the sort of thing he needs, though. Still needs that 7.07. There he is on your screen. He's going to have to go something here. Under 30 to go. He does not want to be eliminated from this event. Loves surfing here. Close to one of his adopted homes, Igarashi. And he rips off a first turn. Just kind of releases those fins. And then keeps swinging. Stands on the tail a little bit. He'll just have to be a little patient here and maybe a little lucky as well in terms of what a section gets offered to him. Some nice speed from him, and he will punt. Kind of popped ollie just above, super high. Doesn't get the landing done anyway. And that's not going to be the 7-point ride for those early turns we wouldn't have thought. And it looks like we're on the verge of seeing another one of our big championship tour names exit the competition. He'll make his way back in here. Does have a bunch of numbers all to come in, so we're just going to wait till all that gets locked in before we really look at exactly where we are in terms of our standings. But I think it feels like it's going to remain as we were going into that exchange, Pete.
I will agree with you. Wholeheartedly, Cole was able to get another 7, got himself back into the lead, so he got the interview. And Ian Govea held on to his second place position. So yeah, I would say that Igarashi's score is not going to be the 7.70 needed. So congratulations to Cole and Ian, the 2 surfers that need these points more than anyone. I guess Eli would say he deserves them as well, but unfortunately he just had a shocker. Yeah, he had some falls. I think the decision to kind of move north there might have been a poor one because it kind of put him out of the heat for a while. And, you know, he pulled the trigger on a wave that didn't really give him a score. So a little strategically challenged in that one for himself.
We'll just wait for those last scores to come in, but it's not going to be enough for Kainoa Igarashi either way. But he's going to stoke out the fans anyway. As you mentioned, Pete doesn't really need the points down here. Just loves competing on this wave, loves entertaining the crowd, and a massive fan favorite all across the world. One of the huge names globally in surfing, Kainoa Igarashi. And he'll spread a little bit of love out with the fans and stoke people out, some selfies.
Yeah, Kainoa, he rolls deep. He's got a posse with him all the time. Everywhere he goes. In America, he's got a posse here. In Portugal, he's got a posse.
Got some minions fetching him the pastel de natas.
Yeah. It's just that's how he rolls. He rolls, and they're all fashionably, you know, in form. He came down here, he had to full on. He had guys carrying boards. They're all sharp looking. It's how he rolls.
All right, great job from Cole Hushman. There he is. He's stoked. 7.03 at the end. Something emphatic from him. Throwing up a little claim into the judges as well, and he read it right in terms of a score. It was another good number. Healthy total that. 14.63. Govea as well.